Is it the people we see covered in mud in the pits? Or is it the faceless ones who buy the excavators?
This question to akin to that question, who killed the judges? Is it the people that pulled the, what they call it, the trigger? The one that actually masterminded everything? I actually think that the people who we see on the water bodies, the small boys and girls of this country, they are not really the main people doing the pollution. Because one, they don't have the wherewithal to be able to deliver that kind of destruction. This country has been doing mining for over 100 years. Artisanal mining has been happening sometimes without proper regulation for so many years. But this is beyond artisanal mining. If you go and see the kind of champagne and the kind of excavator they are putting on the water bodies and the level of destruction, the areas they're able to go, and at some point in time, we have to bring in the fact that now they are permeating our very important forest reserves. There's an idea behind a reserve. A reserve is purely an ecological area. We don't want to disrupt the kind of ecology we have created there because it's for the future. We don't want to get rid of certain species. Sometimes they are very important because they're all over the world. We may be the only people having them on our lands. And it's important because certain trees will provide life for the next generation. This next generation, we have destroyed their economy fully, and we are the IMF because of that. This next generation, we are not fully planning for them. Others are planning their country in the next 50, 60 years. We are struggling to make do with the next few days or when CD is now what, 11.3 or something like that. So we have not been able to fix the economy for their future to be guaranteed. The land that they'll come and live on and rest on and move up the hills and go and say that I'm relaxing in this area because here there's no massive pollution. We are destroying that too. So I put it squarely at the front doors of the people who are masterminding, who are funding, and more importantly, Kojo, the real polluters are the people we give power to fix the problem, who are refusing to fix the problem, who are acting like they are incapable of fixing the problem, every day telling their stories.
You see, for me, that's where the real intrigue begins. Okay, because in one breath, the same leaders are telling us how they abhor this thing and how they're going to put their presidencies on the line, and talking tough, suggesting that they are leading in the fight. But the question is, can you really fight yourself? In the end, that's what it comes down to. Can you really fight your own interests? And let's not mince words. Our leaders have interest in Galamsey. Is Chairman Wontumi not a leader of the NPP?
A regional chairman.
Thank you.
To be regional chairman, at some point in time, you would have contested the election of the entire region. Let's not forget, it's not regional chairman of the voter region in the NPP. Regional chairman of the most important region in the NPP. That region determines to a very large extent. In fact, there was a point in time that was election won with only two regions, Eastern and Ashanti. And it should tell you how important Ashanti region really is. So to be regional chairman in the Ashanti region, you would have fought a very huge battle. For most of the constituencies, most of them held by the NPP, winning the primaries means we already have won the election in the particular constituency. So for Chairman Wontumi, we would have been fending off actual attack and from within his party from a very big area, the biggest of the areas, with perhaps the most important chief in the Republic of Ghana today. So it is a very important demographic. Such a person is no mean a person. For such a person to be in any way connected to illegal mining can tell you the kind of people we are dealing with at this level. And it didn't start today. You remember how we have been going back and forth as to what happens to the funding opportunities for political parties. Political parties are seeking, among other things, to say that give monies to political parties so that they don't rely on big people or criminals or cocaine dealers, or in this case, Galamsey kingpins. They don't rely on them to fund their political parties. I am insisting that currently, political party funding has been so intertwined with illegal money. It is part of the reason why we cannot fight this. Because we are afraid. We are afraid of people that feed us. We are afraid of people that actually put their money into our political party. They are the people who are doing the Galamsey. But for that, why on earth would anybody be looking on? Our major water bodies are turning very dangerous forms. Our major water bodies are becoming difficult to treat for us to get the water to drink. Now, ideally, where I live, I hardly get regular supply of water. But they keep telling us that that's going to get worse by the day because They are polluting it by the second. And we were one of those countries that people cherish and said we were going to get more, we had more water resources. Other countries, sometimes landlocked countries, they don't have water resources. They have to struggle to get the water that we are getting today. But they are saying that we are going to buy water. They are saying that we are polluting and killing ourselves by the day. Even the cocoa we rely on. Next week, the biggest help we get for our economy is coming from the cocoa syndicated loan. That 1.3 billion is dependent on cocoa. We are jeopardizing the future of cocoa too. The cocoa that we currently have not contributed any to. We currently have not increased yield and have not done any wonderful work on. We are jeopardizing that too because of the very things that few people will enjoy in this country.
Do we have Erastus? Because I want us to get a certain feeling of what's happening on the ground. Sometimes maybe we get a bit detached and we don't quite understand the reality of this thing that they are doing to our nation. Do we have Erastus? Well, let's work on connecting to him. In the meantime, look, let me tell you, this thing is politically incorrect. I always get excited when I'm invited here. Look, do you know who shocks me the most? It's you, the ordinary Ghanaians who are not yet up in arms, are actually defending people in power because that's your party. Like it's your football team. So whether they win or lose, you are with them. Do you know what they are doing to you? Those few people who are benefiting, they don't even give you some of the money that they are pillaging.
That's the worst part.
They are not even giving you some, but you are on social media defending them.
They are taking your girlfriend too with the money, and yet still
they are poisoning the water that you and your children will drink, so that your children will be born deformed. You are eating poison. You are eating poison.
And obviously, you don't have the resources to take your kids outside for proper medical care.
They do. They do.
So you lose every way.
So you cry. What should we do to you? If you are tempted, if you are picking up your phone right now to type something to support those who are making this canker possible, as you are typing it, ask yourself, so me, what is wrong with me? Ask yourself that question before I ask you.
I mean, if you don't care about yourself, because about your children.
Look,
they are children and the future of this country.
Let's put this thing together. So somebody called Chairman Wuntumi, a party leader, decided to go and mine illegally in a forest. We exposed him. The Ministry for Lands and Natural Resources said that these people are mining illegally. They said it to not as for us, we just brought you video. And then they said these people are mining illegally. Okay. 2 weeks, nothing happened. Akonta Mining gradually took all their equipment away from the illegal mining site. We asked the minister, why have you not arrested this man? Minister said, we have to go through due process. Okay, so what is due process? Well, as it turns out, today, Forestry Commission turned up at the site of the scene of the crime and burnt all the evidence. Listen to what I said. The Forestry Commission, the ones going through due process, turned up at the scene of the crime and burnt all the evidence. These are the people you are supporting. These are the people you are typing insulting tweets to support. That's them. They have burnt the evidence and allowed the accused to move all of his equipment back to the safety of his compound in Mempasem next to Samrabon.
Now, put this in proper perspective. So you come home and meet somebody robbing your home. You are there. Your family is there at gunpoint. They are destroying everything in their home, taking everything away. Then all that you do is quickly call the police. The police come in and say, we are investigating. But the police now usher out nicely the people who are doing the robbery. They don't take them anywhere. They ask them to go home. Go home, okay? Take your things and go home. Take the very important things you brought.
The bullet casings.
Yes, everything. And then later on, the police says, okay, there are a few things still here. Let's ban them, okay? Because we are still investigating. You think about how absurd this is in 21st century rule of law country. And that is what we are told is investigation. And yet, listen, if we were to be you, your family, anybody related to you, if you were to be one of the 179 or so people who are actually being jailed in the Eastern region, how would your family feel? They were there on the ground doing some of these acts too, but they were not treated with the same kid gloves or nice treatment that the owners of this particular mining firm in the middle of a massive forest reserve that in 2017, if for nothing at all, the cabinet of this republic, according to the then Minerals Commission CEO, said we're giving orders from cabinet that nobody should step in any particular forest and go and talk about, not prospecting. They said we should not give them prospecting, the reconnaissance, or any of the other. So you can't even say that you're mining fully. You can't even prospect in the area. And yet, those people are there. We said they were there. They say, oh, where are they? We said they were there. They say, oh, they said another people are impersonating them. Now you go, because the people are, the original claim of Akonta mining is that you're being impersonated.
Yes.
Now you go and you have evidence on the ground, their machines are there, and everything is there.
Logo,
what you do
everything,
is,
employees.
What you do is that, oh, my gentlemen, pack out nicely. Let's file off to wherever you want to file off your machines. The evidence, you let it go. Beyond letting go the evidence, what is left as something you could keep to take to court. Now, we are not saying this because we don't know what the law says. The law says if you arrest or see that somebody is doing this illegal act, what you do is arrest them. When you arrest them, you take possession of the equipment. When you take possession of the equipment, a court will determine the fate of the people. When the court is done, you move on to now go and take the machines and give it to the minister. Within 6 months, minister has to decide who receives it. Government agency, not the people who did it. Anyway, why am I even shouting on this matter? Kojo, have you forgotten? There was a point in this republic that 500 excavators. Excavators are not like my phone. Excavators are not my ring. They are not small things. Excavators are not personal too. You don't hide them. You can actually have excavators big time on the farm and everybody will see it. You're from a very far place, you still see the excavator. Yet 500 excavators vanish from the surface of this earth. 500. We arrested people, 500. Including vice chairman of political parties. That should have told us that this was not going to go anywhere. We arrested people. Police issued a statement saying that they have arrested people, including vice presidents of political parties. It didn't go anywhere up to today. We are only told the number of excavators that got missing were less than the number we were told originally. So what happened? Today, have you seen any report that says we have retrieved all the 500 or more excavators?
Or even one.
Or even one of them. I mean, listen, that is how we have fought Galamsey. And that is how terrible a charade of a fight we have put up against Galamsey. And then ask yourself, if state Ghana is not benefiting from this, who are the beneficiaries?
And today, when people talk about it, they get attacked.
Yeah.
Their homes get burnt down. Their family members get slashed with cutlasses. And we are all sitting there looking, waiting for data, for someone to send us data, so that we can go on social media and defend this. What is wrong with you? This is a war. This is a war. So you ask yourself, which side are you on? That's my simple question to you today. Which side are you on? Are you a Ghanaian? Are you a Ghanaian? Look, imagine this. Right now, as we speak, there is a war in Ukraine, between Russia and Ukraine. United States is not a part of that war. They don't, their troops are not fighting there. But do you think an American lawyer, if he decides to defend a Russian soldier who is accused of poisoning water in Russia, do you think if an American lawyer makes the decision to defend that Russian soldier, his life will be easy for him? Do you think his fellow Americans will approve? America is not even they are not even fighting there. But just on general principle, they know which side they are on. But in our country, there is the money. We follow the money. Everything is money. How poor are you? Exactly how poor are you that money can be enough to, you can be paid enough money to poison your children? How poor are you?
And let nobody deceive you that you cannot, as a lawyer, refuse a brief. You can, with tangible reasons.
They do all the time. Nkrabia Ifadate has said on record that he refused to represent Nana Agrada because when he went to her house, he didn't like the spirit surrounding him. He's a born-again Christian.
Yes.
So he decided not to.
Apparently, Ashawan's spirit is a far more better spirit.
As for the woman who is poisoning our water bodies, as for her, her spirit was okay. Erastus Asare-Donkor joins us right now. Erastus, Charlie, before somebody gets a heart attack, you walk us through the latest. What exactly did the Forestry Commission go and do in that forest where what's the name? Akonta mining was illegally mining?
Okay, so from my briefings and what I've seen on the ground, they went in there yesterday together with the Deputy Lands Minister Benito Subiu to supervise the burning of structures left behind. And by structures, I mean the wooden structures that they use, the trees they cut, sawed them, and used them to construct makeshift apartments in which they live and within the Tano-Nimri Forest Reserve. That's what they went to burn. In fact, but when the story broke and we're expecting something to be done immediately, that was not done. They waited for a while, and Akonta Mining has tracked most of its excavators out of the forest reserve, the mining site, to safety. And so what they are burning now are cooking utensils, the wooden sheds, I think 1 or 2 pumping machines that have been left behind, and generators. That's what was burnt yesterday.
Interesting. So if today the police suddenly wake up and realize their job and decide that they want to go and prosecute this case, when they go to the alleged mining site, what evidence will they find there?
Maybe the burnt structures, but as at yesterday, Kojo, let me say that it's so strange and interesting, laughable, when Benito Subiu, the Deputy Lands Minister, went there on the 3rd of October, and that was just last week, and they went there with military men, and the reliable information given to me by my informant who was part of the trip, the soldiers who accompanied him were so incensed with what has been done to the forest, to the point that they started setting some of the structures ablaze. And there's a video to that effect, where when they started setting the equipment ablaze, the Honorable Minister asked them to fetch water and quench the fire, and that they should stop. So they had to come back after the man had tracked his excavators out of the site to burn the wooden structures that have been left behind. That is what I can't pin my mind to. And let me add new information to this. I'm getting this briefing right now that as we speak, we have the security personnel of Akonta Mining, some of them hiding in the bushes, armed. They say they are protecting the leftovers of the mining they did there. They say it's full of gold, and so when they leave there, they understand somebody will come and mine, and so they are there protecting the site with a hope that when all this, in quotes, noise subsides, they are hopeful of coming back to mine. That's the latest information I'm getting from the ground.
Hey. So listen, Erastus, what you are saying is that the illegal site where the minister has ordered them to stop mining,
yes,
where in fact even before the minister ordered, cabinet had declared that nobody should mine.
Yes,
they have been stopped, but they are protecting it so that they can come back and commit the crime again later.
In fact, my informant, who has been tracking the activities in the forest, just called me that they met some of them hiding in the bushes with pump action guns. These are the security personnel they had earlier confronted, who belong to Akonta Mining. They are in there. They say they are protecting the pits that they've dug, the materials that they've left behind. They say it's full of gold. If they leave it, they are afraid that other people will come behind to mine it. And so they are hoping that, and they have been saying it, that they think that all this media noise will go down one day and they will still come back to the forest to mine. That is the anticipation as we speak.
Look, are we wasting our time?
No, it might sound like you're wasting our time. It might actually sound like this is a foolish fight because over the years, people have realized that it becomes a 9-day wonder. At some point, the people of this country have to rise up to protect their own lands. If you see the list of people who are recently arrested, predominant Nigerians and other Nigerians and other people all involved in there, the things they are doing in this country, we can't do 1/10 in their country. We can't do this. In China, you can never do what Chinese are doing in this country. At some point, the people of this country will have to say enough is enough. We do not demand of our government extraordinary things, just basic protection. Make sure that our water is not polluted. Make sure that you deploy all of our resources, the one that we pay for daily with our taxes, to the very things that matter to us in our future. This is not asking for too much. But if they cannot do so, if our leaders no longer serve our interest, we need to make sure that that kind of leadership is truncated and a different leadership that provides and is in tune with the people is actually put in place. Nobody should stay in office when they are acting against the collective interest of the Ghanaian people. Because it is the only reason for which they were put in place. And that is, to me, the conclusion of this matter. We can talk as many times as we want. We can actually do all the fora, do all the nice work and nice documentary. It appears we are speaking to people who really do not care. What can compel them to actually care is when there's a cost to the current action that they are putting up in place. And you see, let's not think about ourselves alone. Some people have enough money to ship their kids wherever they want them to be, to live there forever, or they themselves too. They can move their entire family, move their house up with them wherever they want to go. Most of us do not have those resources. Ghana is the only nation that we have. We need to act differently. We need to be a bit more combative than we've been so far. Enough of the talk without action. We need to let the people who we have given power to understand that they need to account towards the kind of destruction that's happening and the protection they are failing to deliver. And there are repercussions for not doing so.
Few people. They are just a few people. Just a few. One dozen. But they are reaping massive, massive benefits, lining their pockets, educating their children abroad, driving in the most luxurious cars. While the rest of us are drinking poisoned water and our lives are being threatened. I mean, Erastus, listen, while you are gathering some of the social media messages, Erastus, listen, talk us through some of the dangers and the risks you go through to bring us these stories. For which reason these people, for the small money that they want to use to line their pockets, are endangering people and slashing people's family members, to ribbons. Tell us of some of the risks that you are taking.
Kojo, before I even go into my own risk, let me tell you the kind of diseases that are killing people in mining areas.
Yeah.
As we speak in Samareboy, there is a young man who is battling for his life. In fact, doctors say his condition is terminal, meaning he could die anytime soon. And the amount of mercury in his system is shocking. It even shocks the medical doctors themselves. And he's a farmer who lives close to Samareboy and has been farming close to the water body. I think he has not been that lucky. You see, there are countless of these stories. Yesterday we interviewed Dr. Sampini, who is a pathologist with the KNUST Medical School, and he talks about his own research that he has done of babies that are born deformed, some without and some with faces that does not make sense. Some with cleft, some with two fingers, some with various types of deformities. And per their research, the amount or the levels of metals in their system is traced to illegal mining. And that's the only explanation as to, why they came out that way. It's shocking. When we were covering this, I remember, and when I talk about it, I'm filled over with goosebumps. When we went to dump him, and we did not have arms. We were just a camera technician, myself. I led the team. We have a drone guy, and then we have our driver, with no arms. And we met gangs within the Patang. It's a forest. It's a big forest. And once you enter, there's only one way out. And you find people who are armed to the teeth. That the number of machetes and knives, and when they told them that we have come to the site and we are filming, quickly, within a matter of minutes, there was a Toyota pickup full of these guys wearing earrings and other things. You could clearly see that this is somebody who is not afraid of butchering people, and they sat down. And it's only God. It's only God. I always remember this incident, and I think it's only God who saved us from that. Somehow He calmed them, and I just greeted them, had a conversation with them that we are not there to worry them, we are there to do our jobs, and so they should allow us to do our jobs. And we went back into our vehicle and sped off. And we faced similar, instances in the forest that we went. And
I can imagine.
This just to put the message out there that the policymakers, the ones who have been entrusted with the nation's resources, will just see it, do something about it to save you and me and our descendants.
And you see, while you are going through all of those risks, then the minister is saying he's going through due process, which involves burning the evidence. I mean, allowing the suspect to cut his equipment away from the scene. While you are endangering yourself, they are sitting around saying, "Oh, we didn't even know that Akonta mining was in the what's it called? What's it called? The forest. The town. What's it called? Forest.
I don't know. I was so annoyed that you see, I cut a portion of Akonta mining's pollution of the Tano River, and you see the mining leaks coming from his mining site with a signpost in there, entering the tunnel and polluting it with impunity. And if the minister says that is not evidence enough, and that
what?
Empirical evidence, I don't know whether he wants us to take him there to see it for himself.
I think
of course, he can drive
he wants a selfie of Chemawood to me holding a nugget of gold that he has just pulled out of the ground. I don't know what he needs.
But then again, the same man tells everybody that I'm actually taking, my deputy is taking an aircraft over the place.
Yes.
To actually make sure that everything is clear.
Everything is clear.
Now, you don't need the aircraft. In this country in 2017 or thereabout, we bought drones.
Where are those drones?
Ask again.
Charlie, what's social media? What are they saying? Let's respond to some of the...
First, we did a poll. We asked a very simple question about whether you think government has the will to arrest owners of Akonta mining. Well, 29% said yes, and 71% said no. Then 448 votes so far. Some of the comments related to this, the poll, again, until there's a collective political will, we will keep deceiving ourselves over the Galamsey fight. Rocky is the one saying so. Kweku Nkrumah says, who arrests himself? No one. Who destroys himself? No one. Who takes knife and willingly hurts himself? No one. You see, they will never fight Galamsey. That's actually what Kweku Nkrumah is saying on this thread. And there are other people who have actually joined our feed and actually sent messages through that. Dujenfi Richard said, in fact, our leaders and the very institution to make Ghana a better place have all failed. I believe the youth and the people of this country are not angry enough. That's Dujenfi Richard. Alitu Y East says, this government is actually scamming us. And John Bright is not excited about what's also happening with some message he has on, that's our Facebook feed.
Look, let's end with this thought. Maybe it's not political will we need. In fact, it's definitely not political will, because I don't think any of these political parties is willing to do what it takes. One of them, one of the flag bearers was promising before the last election that if he wins, he'll come and release all the Galamseyers. This one too, they are covering the thing up and burning evidence for the accused. So really, neither of them. It's not political will. That's for political will. They have it. They both have the political will to support Galamsey. It is the financial slavery that they cannot break out of. It is the greed. Galamsey is greed. It's greed of a few people willing to exploit all of us for their personal gain. You think about that the next time you go on social media to support these crooks. Thanks for watching.